Let's be honest, all those years of isolation really messed up how some of us socialize. I mean, the pandemic still has lasting effects to today, and a lot of people are either trying to heal from it, or they're still struggling, or they gave up. And it didn't really start during COVID-19. It stems back to childhood trauma, bullying, and all of those things can have long-term effects on how people operate in society. You might say it's not that deep, but nothing in this life is simple like one, two, three. I mean, isolation, for example, social anxiety, difficulty building connections, lack of relationship skills, distrust, withdrawing from social interactions or social situations, misunderstanding social cues, paranoia, emotional dysregulation, just to name a few. All of these affect how we form adult relationships. Yes, that was a bit much, but in all honesty, that is just the tip of the iceberg. In a new stage of life now, you have more responsibilities. You don't see your high school or college classmates every day anymore, if at all. You spend most of your time at work, like literally 40 hours a week. If you work two jobs, that's more than 40 hours, and you barely have energy to meet new people because you have to deal with your coworkers. Your social life really is about community, a sense of belonging, and the activities you engage in, like your hobbies. And friendship is one of the core parts of that. Yes, it is. The way we made friends in high school or college is completely different from how you're gonna make friends in adulthood, because back then it was automatic. Like literally everyone had the same routine. You saw the same people every day in class. There was a consistency in the club sports and the classes you took, so it was just easier to make connection. But as an adult, you actually have to try. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be curious. You have to approach people. You have to ask to connect. You have to put in effort. But a lot of people don't put in effort into friendships anymore. They'll give their all to romantic relationships, which isn't wrong. But the same intentionality you would bring into dating, you should also apply that to forming friendships and bonds in adulthood. Literally. Because as an adult, you need friends you can laugh with, friends you can grow with, friends you can flourish with, and friends you walk in alignment with. I mean, at some point, you will grow apart from people, and that is okay. You can be grateful the friendship happened, and without forcing it to continue, you can let it go. You can't walk with everybody. Not everyone is meant to be in your life forever, and having a social life in your 20s requires grace and balance. So this narrative that people have that, oh, I can do everything myself, I don't need nobody. Also have to remember that people are still growing, people are healing, people are learning how to take care of themselves, and everyone does that differently. So do not mistake less communication for less love, because everybody's in their own standard space. Another issue that comes up in your social life as an adult is confusing intrigue with friendship. Some people do not like you. They're just fascinated by you, and that's a big difference. Sometimes we have friendship problems with people who were never really our friends, okay? Please categorize people in your life correctly. Also, navigating your social life starts with you, actually. Put people in their proper places. Some people are just acquaintances. Some people are just classmates. Some people are just co-workers. Some people are just your neighbor, your just sisters and brothers, family, friends, your social media mutuals, your oomps, your relatives, your distant relatives, or people you're just familiar with. Stop throwing around the word friend loosely. Find yourself, know who you are, and friendship and companionship will follow you. Having a social life when you can barely adult isn't about doing more, but it's about being intentional and giving yourself grace. Putting people in their proper places and understanding that connection looks different in this season of life please, you were not behind. So you see other people making friends faster than you. It's the transition of the stage of life you're in. You're just growing. You're not behind. So please go outside places you normally frequent. You really never know who you meet when you go outside places outside of your schedule. And remember, you're not a piece of furniture. So say yes to more options this year. Go on more side quests. It's 2026. It's February 1st. We're in a new month. Take a new approach. Try your best to at least go at one outing every 2 weeks, or at least every 3 weeks, or every month end, depending on when you get paid. And sometimes the outings you can take, or the side quests you can take, doesn't have to involve money. There are a lot of things you can do that don't involve money. I'm gonna definitely do a part 2 on social life in your 20s, because I've realized that we're in our generation, especially Gen Z, it's just a monkey see, monkey do generation. Everybody's losing their personality. Nobody has a personality for themselves. Everybody's copying everybody on Instagram. Everybody's copying everybody on TikTok. How do you expect people to gravitate towards you if you're mimicking a social media influencer and that's literally not your personality? How do you expect for people to actually get to know you, find interest in you, and like, oh, she's cool, I would hang with her? If you're just mimicking, because you literally have people who mimic people online word for word, bar for bar. They have no sense of personality or sense of self. And you have people who literally just be like, check GPT, what do I reply to this message and say? They can't form their own thoughts. They can't respond to messages anymore. People can't keep conversations anymore. And then people complain about not having third spaces. A lot of y'all are ungrateful. And in order for safe third spaces to thrive in our society, you have to show up for people. You have to be grateful. Yes, selfishness can be positive sometimes, but it can also be negative. I'm gonna do a deep dive on that next week. But like, y'all, please be yourself. And if you don't know how to be yourself, find yourself. Okay? That's why I say find yourself first, and friendship and companionship will follow through. Some of y'all are literally just still that little boy, that little girl that was in middle school or primary school. You have not yet touched on your creative abilities and who you can be. You have not yet unlocked your inner being. You're just sticking to the mental constraints that you were put under when you were younger. And I understand, like, you know, you have to unlearn that. But please, let's stop running back and forth with everything, every trend you see online. Be yourself. Be yourself.